Welcome to Curtis Goes Corner, coming to you from a secret underground base in occupied America. Hi, all you thought criminals and extremists. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. This video is going to be a little bit longer than normal. Please watch it all. I beg you to do it. I really want to know what your opinion is on this piece. After Trump's home in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, was raided by the FBI, I'm convinced now that this is the point of no return. And I say that, what I mean is that I'm not big on conspiracy theories. I'm not a QAnon guy, and, they're going to reinstate Trump, any of that stuff. The fact of the matter is now it's at the point of no return. I believe we are in the fourth turning, as the theory of human history in the book, I believe, written in the late 90s. And he predicted from human history. This isn't from some guess, some eugenics study or CRT or any of that stupidity. This is history laid out in a timeline. And first, I want to show you an idea of what I'm referring to. This is the book that's highlighted here, written in 1997. The book is called The Fourth Turning in American Prophecy, What the Cycles of History Will Tell Us About America's Next Rendezvous with Destiny. In light of Steve Bannon's obsession with these theses, we recently reread the book. Now, that's a shot, of course, against Steve. The fourth turning is a crisis, a decisive era of secular upheaval. The old order is toppled and a new one is put in its place. The third turning began in the mid-'80s and was due to expire in the first decade of the 21st century. If we accept Howe and Strauss's thesis, America's already entered the next fourth turning. The consequences are immense. We quote as follows: "History is seasonal and winter is coming." That's from the Game of Thrones. Like nature's winter, the secular winter can come early or late. I believe with the internet, it'll come a lot earlier than most cycles. A fourth turning can be long and difficult, brief but severe, or perhaps mild. But like winter, it cannot be averted. It must come in its turn. It's up to us to decide if it's going to be extremely difficult, severe, or mild. And he goes on. You can read the rest of it out. Just scroll through it. You can stop the video if you want to see it. Though much of the third turning, we have managed to postpone the reckoning. But history warns that we cannot deter it beyond the next bend in time. And I like the picture here. It's a picture of the White House. The field of burn, the Bernie Bros, and Make America Great Again guys on the surfboards. And that's a pretty cool cartoon, actually. Now, this is a photograph of Mar-a-Lago in the evening. With a source, FBI agents grabbed documents and boxes without going through them properly. Where's the chain of evidence? It's amazing to me. Who says they're not going to plant documents in those? Anything is possible. If they would do this, nothing is beyond even thought. Who's to say they won't take classified documents and put them in those boxes? Who's to say? There was no oversight. So now we're going to listen to Steve Bannon, his thoughts on what's going on and what we should do as conservatives and Republicans and people that love the Constitution. And I agree with Steve. He may be partisan, but doesn't mean he's wrong.
Steve Bannon has experienced the weaponization of the justice system firsthand. He's the former White House chief strategist. He has been targeted relentlessly by the January 6th committee. He joins us now by phone to react to news of the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Steve, happy to have you on the program. Have you by phone here tonight. What's your immediate reaction?
Well, I gave this speech, a keynote address at the Cattlemen's Ball at CPAC on Friday night. I said, we're at war. We're at a political and ideological war. And they've obviously weaponized the Justice Department. And this had to be approved by Ron Klain. This had to go up to the White House to be approved. Absolutely. Anybody saying it didn't is a liar. This had to go up the chain of command through Merrick Garland to Ron Klain at least. And raiding these guys. But look, here's the thing. This is about pure power politics. They're absolutely scared to death about Trump. It can't be. Mark Elias tweeting right now all the U.S. codes about documents and how make sure you can't run for federal office again. They're absolutely petrified Trump's going to announce in the next couple of weeks, win the Republican nomination, win the White House. Now, here's what's incumbent upon everybody. The House leaders right now need to step up and recommit Jim Jordan. Full investigation. I think cutting off appropriations to the FBI to get to the bottom of this. Okay, this is going to continue on. The FBI right now is the Gestapo. The FBI is the Gestapo, whether it's out in Colorado, putting a Gold Star mother like Tina Peters in chains, Peter Navarro in chains. It's absolutely obscene. This is an obscenity. And we're going to have to fight fire with fire. The way to do it is win elections, win them overwhelmingly, and then use the appropriations process to choke down the FBI and choke down the Justice Department and get to the bottom of who approved this. This is so outrageous. It needs to be investigated. Well, you're 100% correct. This is not about corruption. That's not corruption. This is about the administrative state. This is about an undemocratic apparatus, bigger than bureaucracy. This is the administrative state, and they want to run things their own way. And they want to pick and choose who actually runs and who actually wins. This is why it's incumbent upon, look, we have 2/3 of the nation's in backlist. Hispanics, African Americans, Asian Americans. It's now time to take control of the House of Representatives with an overwhelming victory and then act like we mean it. The Jim Jordans and people have to step up, and Kevin McCarthy have to step up and say, we're going to have full investigations. We're going to choke them down in corporations. Listen.
And this is another definition I saw of the fourth turning. I believe, Steve, we're up against powerful forces here, the American people. Institutions become distrusted, and individualism is strong, and a crisis, in quotation marks, in which a revolution of some type occurs, whether that be peaceful, political, or otherwise, is yet to be determined or known. I would like to think there's no violence involved, but when it comes to the progressive left, we all know better. A new order emerges during this high era of the following seculum, and the fourth turnings repeat themselves in the same order. I think we're in the middle of the fourth turning. I think it is unmistakable that's what's happening. I like to study history. I'm not an expert by any means, but I know more than most people, but not nearly as much as experts. And I see this throughout history, American history. You go from the Revolutionary War in 1776 and roughly 80-year periods of today. You'll see the same thing. 1776 starts the war. We get our independence. 1860 comes. The Civil War comes. 1940s comes World War II. Yeah. And we add another 80 years onto that, and where we are now. We're into the fourth turning. There's absolutely no question in my mind now. How this is going to turn out, nobody knows. But I fear for my children who are in their late 30s, and I have one granddaughter that's 2.5. I'm very concerned for them. Are we going to be the generation that sees the United States pull apart? Are we going to see civil war? Maybe not the type that you're familiar with from history, with the armies on fields opposing each other. This is going to be a regional one, like most civil wars. This is one of the very few American Civil War where states and lines were pretty much drawn, even though there was pockets here and there. But overall, we knew where each side stood with standing armies. Not like that anymore. With the internet and censorship and things that are going on, they actually raided a former president of the United States home, trying to find anything they can, no matter how minute. And those of you that don't like Donald Trump or even hate him, I want you to consider this. This is bigger than Donald Trump. This isn't about Donald Trump. It is, frankly, about the administrative state. And that's who really is in control of our republic. And that's not the way it should be. Because believe me, as time goes on, they will turn on your side or somebody that you like as far as political goes. They will do it. They're unelected, unseen, unnamed. An invisible government, if you will. And if you remember, just, I think it was 3 odd years ago, Chuck Schumer stood on the floor of the Senate when then President Donald Trump challenged the intelligence services in the United States. And he said, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty close to a quote, they will screw you over every which way but Sunday. Do not confront them. He knew. They all know. They all know about the administrative state. Which side is going to win? We're going to have to see. This is the greatest republic in the history of the world. It's worth fighting for. Do what you can, starting with this November. Bring at least 5 people to vote. Make the numbers so overwhelming that we have to pray that the Republicans, when sworn in, if they win in January, will cut appropriations, i.e. money from these departments, have investigations, put people in jail that need to belong in jail, and let the ones out that don't belong there. Are the Republicans going to have the backbone or the balls to do it? I don't know. But I do know this. The Democrats staying in charge is just going to make it worse. And from our last Civil War, let's give you some numbers. Just in the North alone, 600,000 soldiers died. But in the North alone, 300,000 odd soldiers died. If you plug that into today's numbers, which is roughly 10 times the population, that would be just in the North alone, 3 million dead. Am I the Nostradamus that's for seeing things in the future of destruction and evil? It's up to us. We have to start with this November. I pray for this country, and I'll tell you the truth. This thing with Trump has got me shaken. And at first, I was really, really upset. Now I'm pissed off. I'm furious. I'm furious. With 80,000 plus new IRS agents, they're going to go after the political enemies. The lines are being drawn. This isn't about Donald Trump. This is about the future of the republic. Make no mistake about it. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.